At the moment, our application uses hard-coded data, and that's not ideal, of course, because we would want things to be able to be changed. Although there may be a way in which in your service you might have a separate service for some default values. And that's what we will help to do when we come to do an application change a little bit later on. But for the moment, we have one hard-coded item, a data item, and you can see it here. So in order to work with storage, what we need to do is we need to make sure that ionic storage can be used. And what ionic storage is it uses the best possible storage options at the time that it's run. Now, in most cases, that's going to be the browser, but you could have installed a formal storage system such as SQLite, and that would be used instead. If you got a formal data storage system, it would supervene the storage that's used by the browser. The danger is, you see, that browser storage can be wiped, and it can be wiped by updates, and all sorts of things can cause your data to disappear. So it means that you need to have the facility to have formal storage, and we're going to use that through adding something in our application. So the first thing we have to do is stop the current run. So it's been terminated. And it's really easy to install it. So it's npm install excuse me, at ionic/storage, and then we say --save to make sure that it's saving this feature into the local application rather than having it saved globally where we've done before with -g. So we do that, and it will install this facility into our application. So it's been installed. So we go into the app.module.ts, which is the root of the application. The app routing and everything else is right at the root of the application, and it sets the application up for use by the different components that we've created. And we want to import that storage module into the application right here. So I've added it in here, Ionic storage module from @ionic/storage. And then, of course, we need to inject it into the providers here and the imports so that we can use it in the application. So just after there, perhaps, let's seem to be selecting the whole thing. Control V. So I've now got Ionic storage module for root, right at the base level of the whole application. So we've got the Ionic module for root, which is, the whole way that Ionic provides us with the controls. So the other stuff is Angular, but this is Ionic storage module for root, available right from the moment that the application is created. So we've now imported that. What happened with this when it was laid out is something that's particular to my implementation of Visual Studio Code. I've added extensions into my Visual Studio Code, and one of these, and I'm not sure which one it is, see, I'm a bit adventurous with my extensions, gives me this tidying up of complicated lists, and I'm not sure which one it is, but if yours doesn't lay it out like that, don't worry. As long as this has been added, you'll be fine. So in the EnquiryService.ts.file, we will need to import the storage from Ionic, and that's just very straightforward. You've seen us do that before, and I bet you know what's happening next. We need to create a local object in our constructor to help us to be allowed to use it. So I'm going to say private. I'm going to call it storage, small s of course, and it's going to be of type storage. Storage. So that's now set up so that we can use this particular feature inside our inquiry service. So before we move on to implement our functions and our methods, I'm going to delete the dummy data that we've had in here, because we no longer need that. Because we're now going to work with new data that we create. So in the next video, we'll start to implement these functions and make use of them in our application.